Hello and welcome to Indian Express Opinion and to our big story today about the launch of the several Apple iPhones, not only the 8 and the 8 Plus, but the big iPhone, which is the Apple iPhone 10. Now, I think life has to be divided between before the iPhone 10 and after the iPhone 10. It's a magnificent little computer which is in your hands. But to tell us more about this gorgeous little product, we have straight from the line from Cupertino in California, Nanda Gopal Rajan, the Indian Express's online media editor. Nandu, tell us, what was the atmosphere at the Steve Jobs Theatre like when the Apple iPhones were launched by none other than Tim Cook?
Apple had a very successful event at the Steve Jobs Theatre, which they opened up to the world today. It was an important occasion for Apple because it's the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. The iPhone literally changed the smartphone industry, or in a way created the smartphone industry, because it brought in everything from apps to a full touch screen, which phones did not have till that point. And it killed off many businesses in the tech sector. And that's why the iPhone is such an important thing in the history of technology. And bringing in a new phone which sort of marks the 10th anniversary of that phone, and the vision of Steve Jobs, in whose name this launch venue inside the new Apple campus was found, was very important, very emotional moment for Apple, and that was very palpable. So there was excitement, there was a lot of tension in the people who were organizing the event, and you could see that they had almost made sure that they had the best guys from across the world who had been flown in for the event, from within Apple as well as from outside. And you could see a lot of journalists, a lot of guests, and the excitement was very high, because even though there were leaks about what the phones would be, it's always better to wait for Tim Cook to say this is what we're announcing, and you could see that.
So Nandu, we saw that the Apple iPhone 10 is this gorgeous little product, but does it really live up to its hype, to the magic that has been created all around it? Tell us about it.
The iPhone X, or the iPhone 10, as you should be calling it, because it's there to mark the 10th edition of the iPhone, or the 10th year of the iPhone, it sort of lives up to the hype, but you almost knew what it's going to have. So it has the endless screen, or the bezel-less screen, which is stunning but is not really innovative because others have done it before. Then there is wireless charging, which is great because Apple is doing it for the first time. Others have done it before. And then there is augmented reality coming into the device in such a way that it's not a separate app. You will use augmented reality for a lot of things within the OS, and that's been enabled by iOS 11. You also have the best quality video processing ever in a phone. A great camera, dual camera, which has been perfected from the iPhone 7 version onwards. So it's a better dual camera. The overall setup for a portrait picture would be much better, and you have studio-like portraits with this phone. So if you look at certain features, okay, these features are not really innovative, but to put all of them together into one package is where I think Apple has really sort of pushed the benchmark up. So this is like in other phones, in the Android phones, they would have one of these features as the killer feature, but the iPhone 10, so to say, has all of these together into in a good package, and it's not a really overpriced phone when you look at the fact that $1,000 phone is what the Samsung Note 8 is also.
Now, how do these new iPhones, the 8, the 8 Plus, and of course the 10, how do they compare with the other products in the market, say the Samsung products that we have?
With the iPhone 8, there is a lot of competition in the market. It's even going to compete with the iPhone 7, which is still a pretty good phone and would become cheaper as soon as the iPhone 8 is launched. So the competition is there in-house itself. There is, of course, the Samsung Galaxy 7 series, the 8 series and then the new Note 8. So there are a lot of competition out there. Even the OnePlus 5 is competition for these phones. But then this takes it to a new level when it comes to the wireless charging coming into the iPhone, as well as the design, which is an all glass design, which sort of enables wireless charging. A lot of new features out there. There is a lot of competition also out there. But when it comes to the iPhone 10, there is not a lot of competition, because it's a good place to be in for Apple, because the premium segment is pretty much Apple's play anyway. And now you might have the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 also in that space, but it's a small window. The Samsung Galaxy phones are traditionally known to drop their price soon. So week after week, the price will start coming down. So till then, it's a good place to be in for Apple. There is not a lot of competition for the iPhone 10 space. So it's going to pretty much own the premium segment.
Now, you've said in your pieces, Nandu, that the iPhone 10 is likely to be priced, or at least the higher end version is likely to be priced around 1 lakh rupees. Does this mean that Apple has priced itself out of the very price conscious markets in China and India? And if so, what does this mean for Apple?
So the iPhone 8 has not been priced higher. In fact, it's become cheaper, because compared to the iPhone 7, you're getting more storage for pretty much the same price. So the iPhone 8 is actually cheaper in comparison to the iPhone 7. If you look at the iPhone 10, you might call it an expensive phone. It's $1,000 phone. In India, the starting price is 89,000 rupees. But then the iPhone 10 is not for people who are buying a 10,000 rupee Android phone. It is bait for people who are buying an 84,000 rupee or an 80,000 rupee phone, and they're being shown something better which is within their reach. Obviously, this is not for the budget segment or the entry segment. This is a premium phone where the price elasticity is not that much. And I don't think that is going to have a big impact on how much Apple sells. Apple anyway is offering you multiple devices across price points. So you have the iPhone 10 on top, the iPhone 8 series below it, the iPhone 7 series below that, and the iPhone 6 series below it. So pretty much at every 10,000 rupee price point, you have a phone from iPhone which you can afford. So it depends on your affordability.
Thank you so much, Nandu, for your time, for telling us about this, for watching the launch overnight. It was a 2-hour launch, as you just said. And now we will wait for the iPhones to come to the Indian market. If you've got it, we must flaunt it. Thank you so much for watching.